Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to Computational Thinking. I'm Rada from Little Crafters Boxes, and today I'm going to be showing you how to be a real life meteorologist. What is a meteorologist? Who knows? I'm going to be showing you later on today. Um, it's another fancy word, right, for being a weatherman or a weatherwoman, and I'm going to show you guys today how to get clues so you can actually predict the weather for real. So let me know if you're there and pop replay if you're watching later on. Also, I'm hoping you can see and hear me okay, and that you'll all be joining me shortly. So, today we are going to be looking at using data. Data is a fancy word for information to predict the weather. We're going to be recording data and noticing trends, and we're going to learn how to do something called green screen, okay, which is very, very cool. I think you're all going to enjoy it. So, let's crack on. Hello to this person. I can't see who you are, but nice to see that you're there, my darling. Right, so what is a meteorologist? If you are there, I want you to shout at your screens or write in the comments what you think a meteorologist does or is. Are they somebody that studies meteors in space? Are they somebody that eats meat? Who knows? While you're talking or writing, I'll give you a few clues. So it's got something to do with today's topic. It is somebody that can be a man or a woman. And sometimes we see them on TV as well, but we might not realize that they're meteorologists. So what are they? They are people, Finley says, that they do weather maps. Finley, that's a great guess. You're not actually. That's partly. You're right. They do partly do weather maps. Well done. Dylan says a weather predictor. Good, Dylan. That's fantastic. Yes. Okay. So both of you two are correct. Okay. They do. They predict the weather. They use the information around them, and there actually is lots. I'm going to show you how to find it today to figure out what the weather's going to be. Arib is saying weather scientists. That's right, Arib. That's exactly right. So you guys are going to become weather scientists today as well. Okay, who's this? This is Arib. Meteorologists use clues that they get from lots of different places to predict what the weather is going to do. Okay, so some things that are useful to know when you are looking for clues is that when warm air and cold air mixes together, that's when you get clouds, okay? And obviously clouds, we know what clouds do, don't we? When we get lots and lots of clouds, what do you get? You get rain, okay? So the darker the clouds get, that means they're super duper heavy, okay? And when they get really heavy, they can't hold all the water inside them anymore, and so the water has to come down, okay? So they get darker and darker and darker, they get super duper heavy, and then they release their water and it all falls down back to earth again. And that's how rain comes down. So today, I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but over here, there's hardly any clouds in the sky, which means that there probably won't be any rain today, which is useful for me to know so that I know I don't need to wear my wellies and my raincoat when I go outside. Okay, after this challenge, I want you guys to pop outside today and see what you think the weather is going to do in your area as well, okay? And let me know. I'd be interested to find out. Now, this isn't the only way you can find out the weather. There are other ways too, okay? Because we need to know more than just, if it's going to rain or not. So we can use, and the actual meteorologists do this too, we can use something called radar, okay? Radar is a tool that is available on the internet where meteorologists can go and they can find out where the rain is moving around in the country. Okay, so they get something that looks a little bit like that. I've actually got one open for you here on my, got a demonstration. Look, I'll show you the radar. So this is the radar in the UK at the moment. I don't know how well you can see that. Okay, but this shows you, look, this is actually that image there. This is today's radar. So this is live and it shows you where all the water is, where all the rain is as it moves around the country. So we can see from this radar, look, that there isn't going to be any, well, not very much rain around the country today. it all seems to be at sea for the most part, doesn't it? And not a lot on the actual UK. So you can go to the Met Office website on the internet, and you can actually have a look at the radar every day to see what the weather is doing. That's another thing that meteorologists do to get clues. And then if you wanted to go even a step above that, you could actually look at what the satellites are looking at from space, okay? Now, if you looked at the weather satellites, what they show you is what the clouds are doing from above, okay? So you can see the clouds moving around the Earth. So imagine that you're sitting on the moon looking at the Earth. You're just sat there watching the clouds as they move around inside the Earth, so you can see where the rain is going to move. Now, I've got a demonstration here. So I've got the satellites open on my iPad right now. So look, you are actually looking at the weather satellite from space right now, okay? Now, again, I've given you guys a link so that you can do this as well in a minute. But how cool is that, look? So we're actually watching what the clouds are doing. I'm going to move this about. Do you know what I'll do? I'll leave this. If I push you back a bit, I can leave this here for a minute so you can see this as well, okay? So we can watch what the clouds are doing, and then we can make predictions based on that as well. Okay, so spotting patterns is another very, very important thing that meteorologists do. So when you know that there are patterns or trends, that's the fancy word, you can use that information to help your predictions. So for example, we know that in the winter it gets super duper cold. That happens every single year. So we can expect that the temperature is going to be lower in the winter than it will be in the summer. Okay, so that's how knowing patterns of the weather does help us. Right, the weatherman. I'm going to move my clouds out of the way for a minute. You guys can have a look at your own clouds on the weather satellites by using Google in a little while, okay? Right, so the weatherman, he comes on TV every single day, okay, whether you guys see or not. Let me know in the comments. Do you see the weatherman? It normally comes on after the news or in the morning, and he will look something like this, and he will talk about what the weather's going to be doing today and tomorrow, and he will give us a little bit of information. Did you know that 1, they are real meteorologists, and 2, that thing that they're looking at behind them, there's actually nothing there. They are looking at a blank green screen, and only we can see that weather forecast. They are actually looking at something in front of them to tell them what to say, and they try and point in roughly the right area, okay, when they are doing that weather forecast. That's called a green screen or chroma key, okay? So today, one of your challenges is going to actually be to go and watch TV and find a weatherman and see if you can spot what they are doing. See if you can spot the UK satellites that are behind them, because you know how to do that now. There is a Google search you can do to find the UK satellites and look at them yourself. They actually display that information on the TV. And then they've got a blank green screen. I'll show you. This is what they are actually looking at. This is what it looks like from inside the place where they are filming. So they've got like a green wall or a green screen up behind them so that the weather information can display, okay, using something called chroma key. Now, this is going to be the most challenging part of your day, but also the most fun if you decide to have a go at this challenge, okay? I'm going to show you how to do this today because it used to be really complicated. You used to have to use a computer and lots of different effects to get the weather to display on that screen. But now there are lots of apps for it, okay? And it's actually not that difficult at all. So this is my green screen. I haven't quite got a big wall behind me. What I do have is a green piece of paper, okay? And the reason that they use green is because it's completely different from our skin color. Most people don't wear lots and lots of bright green. They do have a blue screen as well if you just happen to be wearing bright green that day. So you can use blue screen as well. And in some cases, they can even have a red screen now as well. But we're going to use green. Okay, I'm not wearing anything green today, which is useful. And I'm going to use this with my iPad to show you how green screen works. Okay, you can do this on your phone. You can do this on your your mum and dad's phone. You can do this on your iPad if you've got an iPad. You can do it on your desktop computer if you've got one. Okay, I'm going to show you. It really is quite simple. So first of all, you're going to need an app. Let me just see what I've got here. Yeah, so there are a little bit of instructions there. This is the app I'm using, okay? But there are lots of them. Now they work they're not all exactly the same, but they do work fairly similarly, okay? So if you don't use the Chroma Effect app and you end up with a different one, you might have to play about with it just to figure out sort of where the settings are on that one, okay? But I'll show you how it works on Chroma Effect. So for a minute, I'm going to get rid of this presentation and it's just going to be me. So you can see, hello. Okay, right. So we're going to do a demonstration. Are you ready for this? So I'm going to get rid of this. I've got my app here, look. So if when I open the app, now there are adverts. If I go back home for a minute. Okay, this app does have adverts. So excuse me while I sort of get rid of all the adverts and things, okay? So I'm going to close this because I don't want that. Okay, so I'm on the home screen. All it's asking me to do is tell it what I want my background picture to be. Today, I'm being a weatherman, okay? But you guys, once you've got your head around this, you can play around with it, okay? You could, like, I don't know, get a photo of space and be an astronaut in space, or, I don't know, put yourself in Egypt on top of a pyramid or whatever you like. But for now, I'm going to get a picture of today's radar, okay? So I'm going to look in my backgrounds. I've got the picture saved already, look. And I want the picture of the weather, okay? That's it. So I've just set my background. And now, look, it's just a camera. So I'm going to go behind my camera. I'm going to take my green screen, which is my piece of paper, and watch. I put this here, look. What happens? Hello. So you are now watching me through my screen. Okay, hello. Okay, but if I get my green piece of paper, look, everywhere it sees my green piece of paper, it shows you what was on my background that I chose. Can you see? How cool is that? So now, hang on, look with my little hedgehog. So now I can use my hedgehog to go, hello, and the weather today is going to be not very good. It's raining at sea, it's quite cold, and well, it's the middle of December. Ha 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 ha. Did you see that? I did the weather. So isn't that cool? You can actually press the record button, look up there, and it would record that, and you would have a whole weather forecast. So that's how that works. Okay, nice little demonstration for you there. So that will be one of your challenges today as well. Okay. What did you think of that? Let me know in the comments. So let's put the presentation back on again. Okay. So these are some of your challenges. Let me just go back to, yeah. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's lots and lots of information. So they're all the clues that meteorologists can use to actually find out what the weather's going to do. And that's how you do a weather forecast and become a real life meteorologist, okay, or a weatherman or woman. So now I do have a series of challenges for you today. You don't have to do all of them. Remember, we do what we always do. You do the ones you want to do, or the ones you feel like you can do. When it gets too difficult, just stop, okay? That's it. Just do the ones that you find fun. So there's some cloud challenges today where you can actually have a go at making your own cloud, and then you can add colored water to it to make it heavier and heavier and heavier. And then you can watch how the cloud starts to rain underneath when it gets too heavy, okay? So there's that challenge. There's one where you can put the kettle on and watch what happens when the warm and cold air mixes together, okay? So the steam is actually clouds. You'll need an adult to help you with that one, though, if you do that one. Here's another challenge. Go outside and look at the clouds, okay? And have a little think of what you think they're going to do. If you are a Little Crafters Box subscriber and you have a cloud sorter, maybe you could name some of those clouds and see what they are called, if you can see any today. So this is Hayden. I want you to have a little think of what the likelihood of rain is going to be in your area based on the clues that you have found out. So you could use the radar, you could use the UK satellites. Okay, have a look on your internet, if you can see the satellites yourself, and have a look in your local area to see what's happening. Here's another challenge. Okay, this one's going to take you a bit longer. You won't be able to do this in one day, but I've got one here, look. But you could use Lego. So I want you to think of something that you want to record. So it might be the temperature, it might be the wind. So, if you do like something like the wind, you could have 3 scales. So one could be no wind, 2 could be a little bit of wind, and 3 could be lots of wind, okay? And every day, I want you to use your Lego to make a bar chart, okay? A bar chart is a type of graph, and it's going to look a bit like a graph that you would make in something called Excel. If you are old enough to use Excel or Google Sheets, maybe you could record your data in Google Sheets. So let's say we were recording the wind and there was a little bit of wind today. So I would put for my day one, okay, just one bar because there's a little bit of wind. Let's say on the second day, there was lots and lots of wind, like a tornado. Okay, maybe I would put 3 bars that day because that's more than just a lot of wind, isn't it? And then maybe on the third day, there would be a lot of wind, but not quite like a tornado. Can you see how I'm starting to get a picture using the data? What this shows me is the pattern that the weather is doing, and that would help me to make a prediction for next week. Okay, so that's another thing you can have a go at doing if you want to. What are the weather patterns? What weather patterns do you notice? What clues? Okay, yeah. So we've talked about this. Okay, this is going to be in your worksheets as well. Don't forget to watch a man on TV telling the weather, and I want you to see if you can spot the radar, spot the weather satellites, spot the green screen. Okay, look for those things next time you watch it, and don't worry if you forget all these challenges. They are in your worksheets. Okay. Right, okay, and then I want you to have a go at being a meteorologist, okay, by using the green screen. Get an app on your mum and dad's phones or your iPads, and have a go at doing the chroma key, the green screen, and be a weather woman or a weatherman like this, because it's good fun. Right, I think that's it. Okay, I've given you some QR codes there. You will all have these, okay? And they are the QR codes for where you can find the radar and the UK satellites as well. So you're going to have a really good day today, doing lots of fun weather things. I really look forward to seeing how you get on. Don't forget to post your pictures and things in the group so that I can give you feedback. If you can't get the green screen thing worked out right, send me a picture of yourself telling the weather and another picture of your local satellite, and I will do the editing for you so that you can see what that might look like, okay? So I will help you out with that if you can't make it work. Right, I've got a joke for you, and then I'm going to go. What does a cloud wear under his raincoat? Thunderwear. Right. Get it? On that lovely note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing how you get on. Take care. Bye.